lot of people go through life doing things badly. Racing's important to men who do it well.
He's hit him, he's straight off at the chase. A half-second lead, oh, with the sizzling car in the background. He has it, oh, he's round on the last lap. There's a massive accident. Ducks to the inside, what a move, what a move.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final round of Automoblista Australia OZTCAC Championship here at the fantastic Brands Hatch Raceway. God, it's nice to be at a racetrack we can actually pronounce. I'm Chris Riddell, and with me, as he has been throughout the series, is Michael Zalavari. How are you going, my man?
I am doing extremely well. Good evening, Chris. Good evening, everybody. And I have to say, it is a little bittersweet to be at the end of this fantastic championship, isn't it?
Yes, it has been. The races we've covered, and not all of them admittedly, but the ones we've covered have been some of the craziest sim racing we've seen.
Yes.
To put it mildly.
It really has been a privilege to do. And yeah, I don't know. I just hope I managed to keep my voice this time. Because after last week, well, last fortnight, it was just, that was a scary time.
Wait, the last fortnight, we basically just spent an hour and a half screaming.
All right. My housemate came home in the middle of it, and we are at the last round. We have had a great few months of doing this now. Our first round for this series was way back. When was it? It was back in April.
It was back in April at the Interlagos circuit, which is again just memories of the cars going 5-6 wide down the front straight.
And that was just how it started. And since then, we've seen some great action at Adelaide with a lot of cars ending up in the wall and a bunch of penalties being applied, which was a great time to try and wrap your head around. Barber as well was an awesome race there. We had Montreal, which I'm always going to remember for Rhodey's warm-up lap crash. We're never going to let you forget that, Rhodey.
Oh, his one race, he covered himself in so little glory. It was great.
It was brilliant.
And then we hit the Brazilian swing, Guyana and Ibarra, and Hakadapanga.
Well done, you did a very good job with that.
Yeah. But here we are tonight at Brands Hatch. And
yes,
this is a track I love and I know you love.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tracks. It's got that real old school feel, and I think it's because of that it has a lot of fast sweeping turns, which I really love, and there's a lot of consequence for getting it wrong here, which again I really love.
And what I love about it as well, it's got everything you want from a circuit. It's got challenging corners, elevation, history, and just awesomeness.
Yes,
there's no other way to put it. We're using the GP circuit tonight, which is just under 4Ks. So going around, starting at one of the most annoying corners, but one of the most satisfying, Paddock Hill Bend. As you come over the hump, down into Pilgrim's Rise, and then up into Druids, through Graham Hill Bend, along Kirby Straight to Surtees. Then a nice long run into the GP circuit through Pilgrim's Drop, which I know is a bit of the track you love.
It's great fun. It's scary as hell.
Then right-hander through Hawthorne Bend, which is, you can take a lot faster than you think. Through Westfield, which is a bit slower than you think. Dingle Dell, Sheen's Curve. That's the late great Barry Sheen, isn't it?
Yes. Of course it is.
And then a left-hander into Stirling's, which again is faster than you think. Beautifully banked. Love that corner. Then up through upper straight of Clearways, and then the last corner Clark Curve, and then onto the Bradman Straight to finish.
Yeah, exactly right. This is a track that is going to reward bravery, and especially in these cars, it's going to reward keeping a flow together. I wouldn't be surprised if you see someone get out of the groove through Hawthorns, just at the very top of the hill there, getting absolutely swamped all the way through to Stirling's. It is that kind of track. Yeah. And of course, being Brands Hatch, one of the things that everyone always talks about is how difficult it is to overtake here.
It is. Because everything's pretty much medium speed corner, you've got to be committed. There's really only 2 passing spots. Yeah,
that would be like half into Stirling's and half into Druids, I reckon.
Basically, yeah. And either way, it's commitment. Because Druids relies on getting a run through Paddock Hill Bend, which I don't think I've done in 4 years of sim racing.
They're not even close. Even on Forza and stuff, it's a nightmare.
I remember racing with you in Forza one day, and I took you out in a lower class car. That was great.
Yeah, that was a great time. I really appreciated it.
You can outbreak prototypes in a GT car.
Oh, don't even pretend that you were any good in that series.
Anyway, moving on to people who are good in this series. As it's the last round, we have to talk about championship implications.
Yes.
So essentially, today's racing's a battle of two men, Brenton Hobson and Will Devonish. Currently, they've both got 3 wins and they're separated by 17 points.
Yep.
And you get 20 for a race win. So, while it sounds like a bit of a done deal, Hobson's car is nearly 70 kilos heavier.
Yeah, we saw last round at Goiânia that Hobson was really struggling extracting the pace from that much heavier car. So Devonish has an opportunity with the, I believe it's 2 races. We're hearing some conflicting things, and we're going to wait on Brock Harvey to tell us actually what's happening, because the server's set up for 2 races tonight, but apparently it was only meant to be 1. But regardless, it is almost an inassailable gap, but the gap isn't, or it is not over yet.
No.
So they've really been the 2 class guys for this series, for the entirety of the series, and especially Devonish. He's been consistent more than anything.
Absolutely. And then a bit further down the pack, the battle for third is incredibly juicy. You got Scott Nolan on 131, Turmo's 1 point behind with a much lighter car. Lime Mitch is in 5th place. His car is 51 kilos to Turmo's 26. So either of those 3 can get the last spot on the overall podium as well.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that might be looked at in further series. It's the guys who have done very well and gotten race wins have been penalized the most compared to guys like Turmo who have been consistently close to the front but not getting that weight penalty. So I wonder if there might be a rethink of how the weight penalties are adjusted in the future for the TCAC Retro Series, which is going to be coming up soon after this, and I'm very excited for that as well.
That's going to be very good. Yeah, I think Hobson's kind of sick of carrying me in his passenger seat.
Yeah, let's put it lightly.
So I understand we're going to have a chat to some of these guys soon. While you do that, I'm going to check out some of the practice section.
Cool. Will do.
If I can push the right button. I can't. Well done, me. And while I'm waiting for my computer to catch up, there we go. What's your favourite part of this racetrack? If you had to pick one corner or one part of it, is it Dingle or Pilgrim's Drop? He's gone, hasn't he? So okay, here I am just talking to myself. God, I look great. So
definitely not.
Oh, you're here. You waited for me to fall into that trap, didn't you?
I did.
So
it worked flawlessly.
Oh, thanks. Now you've got my back. So I'm just looking here at one of the championship protagonists, Brenton Hobson. He's running reasonable lap times, it's got to be said. 130.2 so far in practice. That weight, though, is going to have a massive impact on him, especially at a pace like this. Yeah,
so especially at Brands Hatch, one of the things is always that I like to focus on when I'm racing here, which isn't very often, especially in Automoblista. But it's all about keeping the flow up, especially over the top end of the circuit with those 5 right-handers. It's about keeping the flow together. And when you're carrying that extra weight, that becomes extremely difficult. I'm actually surprised at how high up the list he is, considering the extra weight that he is carrying.
Yeah, and I mean, he doesn't. Here's the thing, though: he doesn't have to win this weekend. Or this,
no, he doesn't.
Race. So, if he finishes the top 3, the championship's going to be his, because the points gap's only 5 points between first and third.
Yes, and we do have Brenton Hobson and Will Devonish in the room with us. Welcome, both of you, this evening.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going pretty well. Hello, all of you. We're at the end of the TCAC Championship. You guys are the only ones in with a chance of victory. Hobbo, you're carrying a lot of extra weight. Is this how you wanted this to play out? Were you expecting to be having this sort of struggle at the end of the season?
Oh, I mean, you ideally you want to have all the extra weight on board because it means that you've done well in the championship so far, but it's hugely frustrating to try and drive the cars quick when they're as heavy as they are. So it's like a catch-22. No, it's not what I want, but at the same time, it kind of is.
Yeah, you've got almost a race wins advantage, but we saw last event out at Goiânia that you were able to peg some of that back thanks to your smaller weight advantage. Was there any strategy in play throughout the season? Were you intentionally trying to not take weight penalties, or is that just how it happened?
No, I actually had a really terrible mid-season, so it just ended up like this. It wasn't planned, unfortunately, but it's just how it's ended up.
Does the fact that Hobson started around after everyone and is leading the championship by almost a race win get on your nerves a little bit?
It's business as usual around here.
Beautiful. So it's a 17-point gap. The format apparently was meant to be one 90-minute double points race, but that's not how the lobby's been set up, is it?
No, so Mike and I changed that. Oh, we're keeping the same format as the last few races.
Okay.
So
Okay.
A 25 and a 35-minute race.
Cool. Yep. So that means 2 opportunities to take a race win. It's a 17-point gap. Do you reckon you can get it done, Will?
Oh yeah, if I'm a few positions ahead and up the pointy end, the points gaps are higher up the pointy end, so yeah, give it a red hot crack.
Yep. What about you, Hobbo? Do you reckon you can hold them off?
I'm just going to do the best I can and see how we stack up in the end. I mean, it's just a case of trying to bank points, really. I just don't want to crash and then put myself out of the race. If I can try and, just finish in the top 5 or something like that, I guess it'll probably work out to be enough. So we'll just do our best and try not to do anything stupid.
That is just such a boring answer.
Yeah, I expect you to take the Ayrton Senna route. Have him off.
How many media friggin' qualifications do you have? Just giving us the straight middle of the road answer. That's incredibly boring. No, but either way, it has been a pleasure to watch you guys race in this series. You guys both signed up for TCAC Retro?
I'm there. I'm going to be driving the Astra.
Nice. Hobbo, what about you?
Yeah, I'll be there with my teammate Scotty Nolan. We're both going to be driving in the Porsche, and we've also got another teammate who's signed up to run in the Escort as well, so it should be good fun.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck to both of you tonight. And yeah, we'll be crowning one of you as the winner of the OZTCAC Championship later on.
Looking forward to it. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, guys.
No problems. Love doing it.
While we were watching that, I was just watching Cam Rutledge have a bit of an off at Paddock Hill Bend. I think we're going to see a few of those.
Yeah, Paddock Hill Bend is one of the more difficult corners. It's kind of like the second chicane at Monza in that it's got gravel immediately on the outside, so you can't take a tiny bit more than that little apron. Otherwise, you're just going to end up in the fence. It's not a good time.
Not really, no. Also, it looks like we're going to make it a pretty smallish grid tonight as well. A few guys are unavailable to race. Shout out to Walshy, who's unfortunately unable to be here tonight.
I think.
Sorry?
Yes. I think he's ill. I think he's had a bit of a stay in hospital, I think. Yeah.
And that's not what we want to hear. So shout out to him and to everyone who's racing this series. It's been fantastic watching you guys race, and with 2 races tonight. Actually, that's interesting. 2 races tonight. So 1st to 5th. If Hobson finishes 5th and worst, that really opens the door for Devonish.
Yeah. So the gap between 1st and 5th is a good 10 points.
Yeah.
So that would give you a 7-point standout off the final. I've actually got a spreadsheet here which has got everything I need to work out the. Shut up. You would set one up if you could do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I got a spreadsheet here. I've got it all set up to have a look at what's happening. The long and the short of it is if Hobson finishes in the top 4 in both races, even if Devonish wins both of them, Hobson will win. But with the weight penalties the way that they are, with the way that the racing has gone, it could end up that we might even see a DNF. And I mean, I don't want to wish for a DNF, but that would really spice things up.
Look at you, being a demon.
I know. There are a few battles further down the field as well. There is a battle. We mentioned the battle for third between Scott Nolan, Termo, and Lion Mitch. They're all very closely packed. And then even further down between Brock Harvey, Ozrob, who doesn't look like he's here tonight, and Luke Joyner, who also doesn't look like he's here tonight. In fact, none of them are here tonight. So they can all sit together in 6th to 9th, whatever.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Not my normal position, back of the field.
Yeah, that is. It's kind of scary that you've run a race in a series that I've been a part of in Forza.
In a Porsche 962 at Long Beach, no less.
Oh, don't. That's just scary. So, yeah, we got... practice is just about to come to a close. We've got about a minute and a half left, so everyone should be on their second to last-ish lap. Unfortunately, we don't have any live timing tonight. It doesn't look like it's showing up properly on the live races server, so we don't actually have that additional data to be able to share tonight, which is a bit of a pain.
Yeah, that's a bugger. Oh well, we'll just have to
Wing it.
Hey, we did it last time.
Yeah, that was the time, wasn't it?
Yeah. On this note, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be back momentarily with the qualifying action. And we are back here. Sorry, just had to nip out for a quick moment there, but we've come back just in time for qualifying, which you can't help but enjoy. Oh, that's the wrong thing. We don't need to see the intro movie again. So, 10 minutes.
Brilliant work.
Yeah, 10 minutes, 4 hot laps, and we can see Hobson is out on track, ready to go straight off the bat. Got Cam Rutledge as well, just coming through Paddock Hill Bend on his first out lap as well. Oh, sorry, it's 3 out laps, isn't it? Three hot laps.
3 flying laps,
Yeah.
yes.
And Lion Mitch there as well, in his Pink Puma Panther thing.
Pink Puma Panther, brilliant.
Yep. Got Termo in his Irwin Racing Lancer there, just weaving his way through the back straight. and everyone else is still biding their time in the pits, ready to go. What are you expecting here?
I expect a lot of really close times. Unfortunately, it looks like we've got a bit of a reduced entry. A lot of people that we were expecting to be here aren't here, which does make it a little easier for Brenton Hobson. But we should see a very closely fought battle.
Yep, and we're going to ride on board with Hobson on his roof cam for the first lap here. Why don't you talk us through it a bit?
Will do. So we're just coming onto the main straight now, crossing the line to start the first flying lap. It's a dive down here into Paddock Hill Bend. It's really, really hard to get the front tucked in, and that's the important part as the road falls away from you and then rises up to meet you. Now through Druids, probably the best passing opportunity on the track, as Hobson gets a little bit of an understeer moment there in the mid corner. It gets power down on exit into the middle sector through Graham's Hill Bend. We're now coming, I think this is towards the end of the first sector. It's a 26.3 for Hobson at the first sector. Now, Surtees, really important corner here to get this launch down the back straight. The road again comes up to meet you and then falls away. Now, this is my favorite part of the track, going under the bridge through Pilgrim's Drop into Hawthorne Hill corner. Now, it's really important to get the commitment here. You can take a lot of road, a lot of speed through the corner because it's banked. And then this corner here, Westfield, it encourages you to cut the corner as Hobson cuts a lot of it there and then dives down the hill into Dingledale and into Sheen Curve. Another one that it just encourages you to cut the corner here. Gets a lot of curb there and runs the car all the way out using all the tarmac. Second sector 1075 through Sterling's, a little bit of an oversteer there. Car got away from him in the middle of the corner. It comes under the second bridge and through Clark Curve onto the back straight. Using a lot of curve there. There's a lot of gravel on the outside there, so you don't want to go off. The road comes up again to meet you, and we're going across the line. It's the first flying lap. It is a 1:30.8 for Brenton Hobson. So not the best lap time, but it's definitely a benchmark which Lime Mitch has just eclipsed with a 1:30.1. So already, Gauntlet's been thrown down.
That's the best you've ever done on an onboard lap.
That's... Yeah, okay, fair enough.
We're just looking at, and especially when we had a chance to record it, as you see Termo coming across the line there in a 1:30.6, pushing Hobson down to third.
Yeah, so Hobson's going to maybe struggle a bit here with that extra weight to set a complete lap time. So Rutledge has also eclipsed him with a 1:30.6. At this stage, they're the only ones that have completed laps. Cracker is on track. He's doing his first flyer, as well as Will Devonish is on an out lap, as is Steve Bolger. So at the moment, Hobson's the slowest of the cars that have completed a lap.
Only 6/10, and we should mention Rutledge missed out on second there by 25 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, real tight, tight. And that's one of the things that has been epitomized in this series, is that the time gaps have been real tight the entire way through.
As we see Cracker here coming through, looks like Westfield. I know that was way before Westfield. Great line there. I love this back section. I can see why it's so popular in the 70s and 60s with GP cars.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. Lime Mitch is on a good lap. He was 3/10 up at the second sector. He's just about to cross the line as Hobson goes into pole, and Lime Mitch is going to outdo him at 29.7 for Lime Mitch on his second flying lap.
His third lap's now gone to pot because he cut the inside of Paddock Hill Bend too much, but that was a great second lap.
Yeah, really, really impressive. And from Hobson as well. He's jumped up from fourth. He eclipsed his lap time by about half a second there. Yeah. So he's done a very good job.
Hello, Termo. Just going...
Termo's jumped in on top as well.
Yeah. And just watching Rutledge come across the line in a 1:30.050, so that improves his time, but not his position. Still in third.
Well, he's actually gone ahead of Hobson. So Hobson's taken pole and then dropped down to fourth again. In the blink of an eye. And
I don't think this lap's necessarily going to be great from him, because he looked a bit scruffy to start through Paddock Hill, and he didn't look all that planted through Westfield then as well.
No, Steve Bolger is coming up to the line to complete his first flying lap. He was about half a second, down at the second sector, so he's going to slot in maybe behind Hobson as he comes across the line, and no, he got a track cut, so he didn't get a time at all.
Let's try that again, Steve.
Devonish is just coming through Westfield through Dingledale as well on his first flying lap. So we should get a marker at the second sector time as he clips Sheen very nicely. He is over a second down, so probably not this lap for him.
He's still got 2 more flyers in the bank though. He'll get up there. Glenn Miles still hasn't come out to do a time yet. Nor has Mike Colston.
Line Mitch is in the pit, so he's done. And Crackers hit the wall. Crackers hit the wall out of Sheen.
Ooh, okay. Let's see if we can bring that up, eh? Now I've got the replay button actually mapped. Let's see what he did here. Coming through, and of course he's in 6th place currently. Does someone else
He missed the apex. He missed it by a long way. I wonder if he got his tires on the grass on entry. No, he had a good line. I think he just took way too much speed into there.
Yep, as can happen.
And he dragged Rutledge off with him as well.
Keep an eye on Will Devonish here. He's 7 tenths up on his PB through the first sector.
Yeah, and he's also a 10th up on the best time of the session as well as he comes up through Pilgrim's Drop here. He's just about to drop through as we look down on the car as it comes up through through Hawthorns. You think a track that you'd know, you'd get all the names right, but it's hard.
It's hard because it's all very British. That was Scottish.
Yeah, it's this all the names of this track are aggressively British as he comes through Westfield into Dinkeldale and now through Sheen. Very nice line through there. Uses a lot of curb in the middle, but gets it out the other side, and he's still lost a lot of time.
Yeah, but this time we'll improve. On current pace, he'll probably jump up to 3rd.
He was staying in the same position. I think he was staying in the same position.
We'll see what happens as he comes through the final corner onto the Brabham Straight. Coming across the line now, 130.5. Yep, stays in the 5th. He's got one more crack at it.
No one else is on track. Actually, Glenn Miles just comes out on track with just over 2 minutes left in the session. He should get a chance to put one flying lap in. Mike Colston's still not out of the pits, so he might not get a lap in. And then that might be our grid. Oh, and Steve Bolger hasn't put a lap in either, which is a little surprising.
He's put in a lap, it just wasn't valid because of a track cut.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Will Devonish looks like this one's not going to help him out either. Get on to Glenn Miles, see what he does here. He's had a bit of a interesting series, hasn't he?
That's one way of putting it, sure.
It'd be nice to, because he started, when he qualified...
That was Walshy.
Walshy.
Last time.
But yeah,
yep.
He's running 60 kilos lighter, so if there's any time there's going to be a good race for him, this will be it.
Yes, this will be the time to do it as he comes up through Hawthorns and gets it all wrong.
Oh boy.
That's and there it goes.
That's yep. How we looking at him, and that's what he does. Kind of Milesy.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you have the track to yourself.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. So we'll see if he can get that together for one flying lap. Who knows? Is he the only car on track? I think Devonish is coming across the line any moment now, but as I said, this cut lap ain't going to be any good. 131.7, he'll be starting 5th. Yep, so it's just Glenn Miles we're waiting on now. 20 seconds left in the session. We'll see if he can do anything on his shootout lap.
Yeah, we'll call it a shootout. In fact, he was actually very close to not getting that lap in because of that spin. He's going to cross the line with 5 seconds left. So here it is, Glenn. It's entirely yours. You've got the world looking at you as he gets sideways through Paddock Hill Bend and puts it in the gravel. Oh, no.
Well, I think maybe if it's after time, it doesn't count anyway.
Oh, that's the end of the session. So we have Line Mitch on pole. 9 hundredths ahead of Termo, who was 2 tenths ahead of Cam Rutledge, who was only just ahead of Brendan Hobson. Will Devonish in 5th, Cracker from 6th, and then I think it will be Steve Bolger, then Glenn Miles, and that would be the field. I think we have an 8-car grid for today, which is a little shame considering the sort of action we've had throughout the series. Yeah, it does kind of put a bit of a
So
I wonder what the briefing will be.
yeah. So I will be coming right back. We'll be back in a moment.
Banana.
I caught the interview saying banana, you banana. And we're back.
Brilliant.
For those of you wondering what on earth we're joking about, never mind. So we've got a bit of time now to kill before the first race gets underway. No one's actually on track at the moment, so we've talked about how we're a few cars missing today. Flood, you got some information on that?
Yeah, so firstly, we'll talk just very quickly about Mike Colston. He didn't set a lap in this the qualifying session because the game apparently crashed on him and he had to restart and it wouldn't let him set a time. So that's really unlucky for Mike. Hopefully we'll see that green stuff mini trotting around further up the field as Cracker just comes onto the circuit. And secondly, Scott Nolan isn't able to be here tonight because he's actually on holiday in Europe. He sent us a very nice message on the in the Discord channel before leaving, saying whereabouts is this? Oh, he just said it was all nice and good job to the teams who were, well, the people who made it. So yeah, good job to the people who made the cars and did the physics and organized this. I know, right? So cute.
Yeah.
Apparently he is somewhere between Budapest and Vienna. So he's on a train between Budapest and Vienna. So if you're watching, Scott,
How's the
I am
internet?
jealous. Yeah, I'm jealous of where you are, and I wish.
I mean, we had one of our regular racers on the Forza group we sometimes race with, who's actually on for work in the Philippines at the moment. So they were.
Oh, there you go.
So that, yeah. So he patched in from Philippines for one race until his internet decided nope.
Beautiful.
But it was good to see Floofy not win a race.
Yeah, for those who are involved in the what is that series that they run? They're on
Tora.
Yes, Tora. That's it. If you care about Forza, you can check them out. We'll give them a plug because why not?
And wise, but there we go. So this track, Brands Hatch, we've talked about its history, but what I think makes it so awesome is there's so much racing that goes on around here. It's not like a 3 times a year circuit.
Yeah, it is one of the hotbeds of British motorsport, isn't it? I've seen everything here. Sorry, I've seen everything race here from GT cars in the Blank Pen Endurance Series. Oh no, Sprint Series. They do a sprint around here. To Sanyong Utes or something. I know that the lead commentator for Radio Le Mans has raced some friggin' pickup trucks around here before, which is ridiculous.
It's absolutely insane. Those of you who have an idea about, or who watch a lot of YouTube, will remember this track from. Why is there a VW Golf on the track?
What's this?
A few years ago, a guy driving a VW Golf with his terrified girlfriend in the car drove on the track in the middle of a Beetle race.
What?
Yep.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So he got a right whack for that.
You don't say. Oh, god damn.
But on a brighter note, we've seen GT races around here, bikes race around here, open wheelers.
It's very popular in touring cars as well.
Yeah, British touring car, this is one of their biggest rounds. Like,
is there also a DTM round at Brands Hatch?
There has been.
That would be pretty cool. That would be terrifying.
Those guys around here.
Yeah.
British touring cars use the Indy circuit as well.
Oh, wow. That would be nutty. So, for those who aren't aware, and I don't know how you wouldn't be, the Indy circuit cuts off at Surtees. So, instead of going up the hill, it just jumps across the track. And it's basically, it turns it into a shortbread biscuit, the shape of the track.
What biscuits are you eating?
Really fancy Italian shortbread biscuits that my nonna makes that look like the Indy circuit. I'm not even kidding.
It is a great place to race, and we know because on our WEC Reddit group that we frequent, that you mod, there's a lot of British users here, and they, without fail, will always try to get here.
Yeah, exactly right. There's a lot of really special events that visit Brands Hatch as well. So one of the biggest ones is there's a Le Mans Classic round that visits Brands Hatch. So imagine Peugeot 908s, old GT1 cars and the like thundering through the hills here. There is something very special about that sort of stuff.
And rallycross as well.
Yeah, right. Classic sports car prototypes to rallycross. It's kind of wild, and that just kind of shows how ingrained this track is in British motorsport and racing in general. To be honest,
exactly right. And we're about to see the first race of our series finale, because I speak good sentences. Anytime now. We've gone forward to the first bit of qualifying. First gridding up procedure. Everyone's just slowly making their way out onto track. Where are we? There we go. Lime Mitch is on pole. So we're going to have 9 cars take the start of this first race.
Yeah. So I'll just give everyone a very brief championship picture as they all grid up. So if everyone finishes in their position that they are right now. I am just working through some numbers at the moment. The long and the short of it is because Hobson is ahead of Devonish, that will remain the final positions. So we'll keep what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on that as it changes. At the moment, the gap is, we've set it 17 points. If they were to stay as they are now, it would be 19. But we'll keep an eye on that as the race unfolds.
Excellent. So we're just starting the warm-up lap now with Lime Mitch on pole. Press the right button, Christopher. Termo will be second place in the Irwin Racing Lancer. Cam Rutledge in the Cam Rutledge Electrical Lancer. Thank you for I had to wait for him to turn the corner so I could see his sponsor. In third.
Brilliant.
Brenton Hobson, the Synergy Sim Racing Lancer in fourth. Will Devonish, the Willett Racing Mini in fifth place. Cracker, his explicit racing team name, in sixth. Steve,
avoiding that one like the plague.
Oh yeah. Steve Bolger in the stock-looking Riser Studios Mini in 7th. Mike Colston in 8th in the MHRT Greens Tough Mini. And Glenn Miles, the Playboy Racing Miles Machine, in 9th place. So yeah, no Mr. Harvey tonight either. Yeah,
so we're missing Brock Harvey, which is a bit of a shame. We're also missing his teammate Luke Joyner from the grid. And also Ozrob, so that would have been the battle for 7th on the championship, and all 3 of them are missing. So congratulations, Brock Harvey, on 7th place in the championship ahead of Ozrob and Luke Joyner.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah, so it is a bit of a shame to see those guys miss out. But what that does mean is that there's less cars for Brenton Hobson to squeeze in between him and Will Devonish. So
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he finishes the race in last, Hobson will get 2 points out of this. So
yes, and that may prove telling come the final shakeout.
exactly right. Just coming through clear waves now, making our way up to the final corner. We're gritting up any moment. What can we expect from this first race?
Someone goes off a paddock hill bend and creates chaos.
That seems very, very
Likely.
likely. Yes.
So
that doesn't mean how good a racer you are.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed everyone just plays smart and gets through there. It's going to be... Because the road just narrows in. You get one line through there, and if you're not on the inside, you're in the grapple.
Yep.
So, we'll see how we go.
Oof. Yeah, there's a good spot. Line Mitch taking pole position now. Of course, the start camera angle is not great. Let's see if I can make that any better. Nope, I can't. I really can't. Okay, just waiting for the lights now. And we're away. Line Mitch gets off to a pretty good start, as does Turmo behind him. Very even start all around, actually. But Cam Rutledge into second place, coming into Paddock Hill Bend. And it looks like... Oh, Cam with a very squirrely moment. And he's actually going to find himself saved it, but quite vulnerable to Brenton Hobson on the outside into the Het Druids. And he's not quite going to get the job done, but... through onto turn 4, and yes, he's fallen back into line. Pretty smart move. That's very risky overtaking area.
Yeah, Hobson's had to cover straight away. That extra weight's already paying dividends for the guys around him, so he's had to cover the inside of Surtees to cover off Turmo. He's actually got quite a good run out of there as they head through the forest into Pilgrim's Drop and up to Hawthorns for the first time in this 25-minute race.
And my computer's just taking a wee brain fart.
Brilliant.
There we go. We're good now. Just as we're coming through up to Westfield, everything's sort of settled down nicely, which is good to see.
Line Mitch off. He's off at Dingledang already. First lap. He's got already quite a bit of a lead, so that doesn't really pain him too much.
Hobson, that's Cam off as well.
Yeah, so Cam's just given that position up to Brenton Hobson, who did manage to stay ahead of Turmo. So now Hobson's up into second place. Rutledge is defending against Turmo as they head back up the hill up through Clearways into Clark Curve, and he does manage to hold that position. So we've got at the head of the field, Line Mitch already with a 2-second advantage over Brenton Hobson ahead of Cam Rutledge, and Turmo with Will Devonish in 5th place.
And I was going to say, there's been a bit of a separation here, the last two as well. But just throughout the field, everything's sort of settled down. It hasn't been the manic starts that we've been used to. Which is not a bad thing.
Quite. Oh, well, I mean, having your leader and second place go off in adjacent corners is a bit mad. Just saying.
I mean, we're not 5 wide mad.
No, not yet. There is still time. There is still time.
Of course, we have... who was that? Cracker making a couple of spots on Devonish there.
So he's just...
through Surtees.
He's got the inside line, but the problem is you get narrow. When you're forced to be narrow on that exit, it really ruins your run down Pilgrim's Drop and into Hawthorn. So he's on the outside. He's going to have to be brave under brakes, and Will Devonish is the braver one and manages to maintain that position. Now, Devonish has got to break away because his job is to get ahead of Hobson and as far ahead as he can, and Hobson's currently in second place.
Yeah, that little kink coming into Pilgrim Drop is actually quite deceptive. It's quite significant. It makes running too wide quite difficult, as we see Cracker thinks about a little peek into Sterling's, but no, too far back. Whoa. Don't want to be doing that too much.
He did get a little sideways.
Yeah, his tyres would not be enjoying that one too much. Let's go back up the front, because I see Turmo sniffing...
Contact, Rutledge is off! Rutledge is into the wall! Turmo turned Rutledge into the wall on the back straight. Oh, wow!
Wow, and now we have a sign on the track too that Cam is beautifully deposited on the racing line.
Can we get a replay of that?
Oh yes, we can. So
they came through Clark Curve, and Rutledge just didn't have the speed. Turmo had nowhere to go, and he's made contact on the bumper and fed him into the wall.
Oh, wow. That's significant.
Yeah. I would be extremely surprised if Rutledge gets away with. Well, he's not going to get away with that without damage. His car is munted. He's off the track at Graham Hill Bend.
Yeah.
So that is going to be something that someone's going to have to look at the end of the series.
He was just taking the rallycross line. That is the rallycross track through there.
Brilliant.
But yeah, after that, go back up to the front again. We've got Lime Mitch going off through.
Sheen there.
Was that Westfield? No, Sheen.
That's Sheen, yeah.
But he's got a 3.5 second lead already.
Yeah, really comfortable lead. Hobson, he's been given a get out of jail free with that contact, so he's got a fair gap to those around him. It's 2 seconds back to Termo, and importantly, it's 3 seconds to Will Devonish. So he's got a nice handy buffer. Devonish has seen off Cracker, who must have had a bit of a mistake because he's now behind Steve Bolger. And then it's Coulston, Glenn Miles, and Rutledge struggling back to the pits as Mitch sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:30.3 at this early stage.
Okay. Can you give me a quick? Is Hobson's current position enough for him to win the title?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
So let me do some numbers here. So Hobson second, Devonish fourth, Termo third. So after assuming the positions stay the same, this would give Hobson a unassailable lead going into the last race of the championship. It would be 22 points. So
all he has to do, he doesn't have to chase Lime Mitch. Lime Mitch isn't in his, I guess, his realm at the moment.
Exactly right. He would be very happy to sit there and just take the points that would seem the championship. So for Devonish, it is imperative that he gets at least one position. If he gets into to third, the battle is still on. But
that's 3 seconds behind, and a Termo in between as well.
And on top of that, it is 19 points. So unless Hobson DNFs, then Devonish has no chance. So that's the scenario.
Then we have to see the Ayrton Senna moment.
That would be a controversial to say.
Yes, it would.
Say the least.
I'm going to go back here to Steve Bolger because we have a 3-car battle in prospect here between Bolger, Cracker, and Coulston. All coming through the last corner line of stern, and we see very interesting lines there taken by 3 different drivers, 3 different lines.
I think part of it is attacking and defending at the same time. For example, Cracker, they all missed the apex at Paddock Hill Bend. In fact, Mike Coulston gets a great line through Paddock Hill Bend. He's gained enough, and he's going for a move up the inside of Cracker, and he gets the job done at Druids. Can he hold the line? Yes, he does. He's got that pass made.
I think Cracker was pretty generous there, actually. Gave him a lot of room.
Whoa, not so generous there. Very tight. I think he knew he was cooked. Coulston had a fantastic run through that section of the track. He actually was the only one of that group of 3 to hit the apex at Paddock Hill Bend. And so, yeah, he had the run and was able to make the move.
You say it like it's so easy to do.
Yeah, it's not. It's all about getting the front of the car to be not so nervous as they're coming back up the hill into Hawthorns. Just quickly, we had a new fastest lap, Termo, in the 29.8 already at this early stage. So Termo might actually even be on the back of Brenton Hobson. Yes, he is, as they come through Stirling's into the Clearways Straight. This is important for Devonish. If Termo is able to get past Hobson, then it all of a sudden plays Devonish into things a bit better.
Yeah, this is a 2-point swing, second to third. And we've seen what Termo. He's not going to take any prisoners. He doesn't care whether you're in the championship hunt or not. He's just going to try to get past you as soon as he can. That was a great corner there by Termo, but
he took a lot of curb.
Yeah, he took a massive amount of curb. Which in these front-wheel drive machines, taking curb through Paddock Hill Bend is just going to ask for understeer.
Yeah, it'll pop the front wheel up, and of course, if you've got the front wheel up, A, you're not turning, B, you're losing drive. So yeah, it's all good to see the car, up on 3 wheels and looking real cool, but it does nothing for performance. Honestly, I think Termo just needs to be patient. He's got a much lighter car, and he's putting that to effect now.
Bugger patience.
Down the inside through Pilgrim's Drop into Hawthorns and gets the move done. Does he hold it on the outside? Ooh, just. So Hobson's going to make the move immediately, or he's going to very quickly lose the back of Turmo simply because he's just got so much weight. And there you go, already it's a few car lengths.
Yeah, I don't think Hobson got the best run through Westfield there either.
No. I think having a car almost go off the track ahead of you is going to do that.
Well, we've seen that in bunk pain races plenty of times.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yeah, you have one person go off in front of you, and then everyone just kind of follows the leader.
Yeah.
So as far as the championship goes, that actually gives Hobson a 20-point gap. So
Okay,
it's still unassailable for Devonish, but it does mean that Devonish is only one position behind, so he can actually affect that.
Well, we have our first pit caller, who's actually not had an incident. Mike Colson's coming in. He's going to be in 7th place currently. Glenn Wiles is staying out on track, so that's our first caller. Expect to see everyone else in the next 2 or 3 laps, I reckon.
Yeah, what? It was a 25-minute race with a compulsory pit stop, so yeah, we should see. I think for the guys in battles, I think maybe Devonish might try and undercut. That would probably be his best strategy. But I'd be interested to see if Mike's just come in because he's getting fed up of seeing the back of Steve Bolger's Mini and wants to get some fresh air.
Can't blame him. It was a valid strategy. Keep an eye on Devonish here as he comes through the back part of the straight into Westfield and gets a little squirrely, but I love the chopper shot.
It is a really cool shot, isn't it?
Yeah. And through Sheen curve there, named after the late great Barry Sheen. We miss you, Baz.
We do miss you, Baz.
And through Sterling's here, a little bit of grass on the exit, but the way that corner's banked just encourages you to go so fast.
It does. That's one of the things. We see both Turmo and Brenton Hobson pits. Very tight, and they actually make contact there. Hobson on the back of Turmo coming into the pits.
And Devonish has stayed out.
Yeah, okay, so I think that might have been the plan, do whatever Hobson doesn't, because what's going to be important is the clean air for all these drivers. So that's why I'm a little surprised that Hobson's actually come in immediately after Turmo.
I think they've both just gone, don't do what the leader does.
Yeah, and honestly, Line Mitch has got such a lead at the moment that he could just stay out and run his own race.
And Bolger's come in as well.
Yep.
Glenn Miles is staying out. Hobson is... He's often jumped in.
Yeah, Hobson's jumped Turmo in the pits by a long way as well.
So there's a bit of funky tyre strategy.
Maybe. I want it. Oh, that seems real weird to me. Because Hobson, of course, being a heavier car, is going to struggle a lot more in his tyres. So he's going to be very brave to try and run a full race without taking tyres. So, yeah, it's interesting strategy play. We'll see how that plays out. And we'll keep an eye on it. And I will keep doing some maths.
While you nerd out, I'll run through the grid quickly. So, Lion Mitch is currently 8.5 seconds ahead. He is absolutely checked out. Will Devonish in second. Neither of them have pitted as yet. Nor has Cracker in 3rd place. 15 seconds back. Glenn Miles is in 4th, also yet to pit. First of our pit stoppers is actually Brenton Hobson. He's currently 41 seconds off the pace off Lime Mitch, so that should be more than a pit stop.
And Lime Mitch is in the pits.
Okay, here we go. We'll keep an eye on Hobson to see where he pops out here. 6th place currently Turmo, 4 seconds back from Hobson. 7th place Mr. Bolger. 8th place Mike Holston, and unfortunately a lap down after his first lap Cracker, Cam Rutledge.
So Will Devonish has now inherited the lead of the race with Lime Mitch pitting. So this was a really important period for him to sort of get the head down, get the lap speed going, and try and get as much use of that clear air
have yellow
as possible.
Oh, no, we don't. You flash up yellow on my screen, sorry to interrupt. Hobson has come out in 4th place. Lime Mitch has stayed ahead of him by 4 seconds.
Yep, so that's pretty well expected. I'm surprised that Turmo hasn't already raged onto the back of Hobson and just taken him to town. Unless Turmo's just taking a lot more fuel on board, which I don't understand why.
So keep an eye on Will Devonish here, because he might have to pull something funky out if he wants to keep his championship alive.
Yeah, this is going to be the big moment for Will to sort of keep the championship going. He's looking very smooth, just by the way. It looks like the car is set up very nicely as he comes through Stirlings and down clearways.
Very conservative through Stirling.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's especially as he does jump into the pits. Let me just try and think about what I'm trying to say here. A lot of the time in racing, it's not necessarily about being the fastest over one lap. That'll get you a good qualifying position, sure, but it's about being consistent and being free of mistakes. So sometimes being a little conservative, you know, conserving the tires and getting into a rhythm will actually make you faster compared to someone who might be quicker but makes a lot more little mistakes. So I think that's what Devonish is going for. He is going to lose the position to Lime Mitch, who does inherit...
Here we go, Devonish is out of the pits, but Hobson's well past them.
Yes. So Devonish is even going to lose position to Termo. So Termo is now 4 seconds behind Hobson, which is really odd. And Hobson is only 4 seconds behind Lime Mitch. So we've actually got a bit of a mix-up in the field based on where they were prior to the pit stops. So let's do some maths.
And this is how we count the numbers, count the numbers, count the numbers.
Well, it's basically the same as it was at the start of the race. They've turned to their starting positions, actually. So it was a bit less interesting than that, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. The racing's keeping us warm.
In this cold Australian winter evening.
Oh, if you're in Melbourne, it was bloody freezing this morning. I didn't want to get out of bed for 8 AM university classes.
Ew. Just everything about that is ew. The living in Melbourne, 8 AM. Cracker coming into the pits as well.
That's less ooh.
So this is the field getting cleansed as he's very slowly crossing the pit entry line.
I think that's just making sure he doesn't get a penalty. That's the last thing he wants.
Yeah, exactly right.
So Lime Mitch should inherit the lead after this. And he's coming through along the Brabham Straight now, and yes, takes the lead with 9 minutes 11 seconds to go. So what's that, about 6 more laps?
It should be about 7 laps. So
yeah.
we remember we ran into this last time. It's the last lap plus the extra lap. So it should be 7 laps as Hobson sets his fastest lap of the race, a 30.45. He's... All the gaps at the front have... Oh, not quite. So Hobson's lost a little time to Termo, who's 3.5 seconds behind Hobson and 3.5 seconds ahead of Devonish.
Yep.
And then it's Bolger a bit further back. So in fact, Bolger and Cracker are going to resume their battle for 5th place. And Rutledge is just ahead of them, but a lap down. So Coulston's actually lost out quite a fair bit in that pit cycle. He's actually lost 6 seconds to that battle between Cracker and Bolger.
Ouch.
Yeah, right?
If that's for fresher tyres, I don't think 6 seconds and 8 minutes is going to really come back to him. Just had a confirmation. Hobbo did take tyres. Thank you, Misfortune in chat.
That's odd. So Hobbo's taken tyres, so that means Termo must have taken 4 or taken extra fuel or something. I don't understand how he's lost that much time in the pits.
We're not race strategists, so we don't know.
No, we're not race strategist.
We don't have an Oscar Fiorinotto. What we do have, though, is a great bat. Oh, no, wait, it's Cam Rutledge. Don't mind.
Oh, Cracker's off at Sheen in 7th position. He's gone wide again through Sheen and has he found the wall?
Let's bring it up on replay, shall we? So, coming through the Dingle Dells, coming through Sheen curve. On exit, yep, just got a bit wide. Don't think he made the wall. No, just a nice, gentle, half spin.
Yeah, so it looked to me that he took a little too much speed and just missed the entry point and just went straight on, which is very easy to do at Sheen, to be honest.
I've done that probably 50% of the laps I've run here.
Brilliant. What that does mean is that Mike Coulson inherits his position, so he's now 8 seconds ahead of Cracker and 8 seconds behind Steve Folger.
Our mate from chat raised a really good point then, as well. Is it possible Termo had damage after that little pit altercation?
Possibly. The thing is, though, if it's rear damage, it shouldn't... it could affect the car a little bit. Oh, but either way, if it's damaged and he's repaired it in the pits, it's possible that he's, taken that extra time. He has reduced the gap to Hobson to only 2 seconds now, as they come through clearways onto Clark Curve. So that's a possibility. But I wonder if that contact might even be looked at further post-race. We never know.
Well, we have the contact of Turmo and Cam eating Armco tyre as well.
Yeah, so a little bit of work for the race stewards, whoever they may be.
Does this have race stewards? After the race,
I don't think we've actually seen penalties given out for the entire series.
No,
Are there penalties?
I don't know.
We should know that. We should know that.
Maybe the penalty is they have to listen to us commentate.
Is that really a penalty though? I feel like that's a privilege. Do you feel privileged? Let us know in the chat if you feel privileged listening to us. Please don't do that. Anyway, back to the race.
Yes, it goes.
Gap between Hobson and Turmo, 1.7 seconds as they fly through Hawthorns onto the back end of the circuit. Turmo is bringing the gap down, but it's ever so slowly at this point. So,
all right. Money on the table. Can he get him?
No.
Too far
The way
back.
that the gap is looking now, he's been chasing for what, 7 minutes already. They came to the pits with about 15 minutes left, so it's even 10 minutes, and the gap has only come down about 2 seconds. I don't think Turmo's got it, which means that Hobson is going to wrap up this championship.
Which is going to lead to a great final race, because usually when championships are done, all bets are off and all hell breaks loose in the final race.
Absolutely right. And Hobson is putting in really consistent lap times. His last lap was a 30.2 and Turmo's 30.1. So, you know, there is a little bit of gap coming down there. But again, it is only about 2/10 of a second a lap. And with only 4 minutes and 20 seconds left, 2/10 isn't enough.
Just looking through the field to see if there's absolutely anything. Everyone's really got the right track for themselves at the moment.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shame. I want to see more door bashing action.
See,
At least I get to keep my voice this way.
This is true.
Call that a plus.
Yeah, if we had Brock Harvey here, we could ask him to flip or something.
An update on that battle for second. Hobbo's actually pulled out, eked out a little bit more time, so the gap is actually over 2 seconds again. So it looked like he's nailed down that position. So Turbo might have had a little bit of an off or something like that, but at the end of the day, yeah, it's looking very, very nicely sewn up for Brenton Hobson.
And it's been a fantastic series from him. As you mentioned before, chatting to him, he came in 1 round late and still cleaned up.
Yeah, that wasn't really surprising though, considering what we have been told about our good mate Hobbo.
This is true.
Yeah, he's taken a bunch of race wins as we are still 3 minutes left in this race. Lion Mitch with a comfortable 7 seconds lead. But yeah, race wins at Barber and at Adelaide, taking the win at Adelaide there. And he's even had wins at Laguna Seca and Jacarepagua, which we still don't know how to pronounce. If you do know how to pronounce that, please send us a like a voice recording, because we have no idea.
That track in Brazil that doesn't exist. There you go.
That one.
That one. This is yes. But you know, it's been great to watch him go. Even with Fatso the machine, he's driving as well. Just the way.
So that's what you call in the car.
Yeah. I wouldn't be cruel enough to call anyone a Fatso.
Maybe except yourself.
Yeah.
Only sometimes.
Oof. Well, we should mention Will Devon. She's had a very good campaign as well. Just that middle section where he just couldn't quite get it together. Got involved in a few incidents that weren't really his fault. And, whoa, as we see Bolger taking a long off-road excursion into the barrier at what I believe was at Dingodale, yes.
Yeah.
No,
you
it was...
were right. It was Hawthorns.
It was Hawthorn.
It's very hard to recognise from the helicopter shot.
Let's see if I can get that up on replay, shall I? So just coming through along through Pilgrim's Drop, and yeah, just got a bit twitchy, and that was all she wrote. Bang.
It is incredibly easy to do with a lot of these, because you're contesting with the elevation change as well. It means that getting the turn-in point is really difficult, and getting the fronts to be happy, and especially in these cars, which are front-wheel drive, that's gonna, yeah, if you get it wrong just a little bit, you get sent off. We are now only a minute away from the end of this first race at Brands Hatch, the last round of the Australian TCAC Championship, OZTCAC. Lone Mitch has a 7-second lead over Brendan Hobson, who has maintained that gap of 2 seconds to third place Termo. That's 9 seconds further back as Will Devonish, who is 4 seconds ahead of Steve Bolger after that little off. Then it's Mike Coulston 10 seconds further back, Cracker 15 seconds further back, and then Cam Rutledge and Glenn Miles. So what's happened to Glenn Miles there?
We missed that. We must have missed that entirely.
That's weird.
He must have had an incident around Paddock Hill and had to limp it round. Because the drop a whole lap. And of course he hasn't done the whole Lewis Hamilton thing and cut into the pit lane early. As we see,
No, not yet.
As we line Mitch coming around to what I believe will be the second to last lap.
Yes, he crosses the line with 10 seconds left, which forces us to do another lap. So he's extending this victory parade for him as the timer runs out. So it will be an 18-lap race around Brands Hatch to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And he's controlled this race. I don't think he's had anyone near him since the very beginning.
Oh no, he's just been able to check out while everything sort of fell his way.
He didn't even have to fall his way. He just controlled it.
Yeah. But I think the combination of like Hobson's weight and other cars not quite having the pace to keep up with him.
That's true.
That Puma I think is well suited here as well. It's such a compact little car.
It does look very balanced, yeah, which is very nice. And he's carrying a lot less weight than some of the other contenders. I know he's actually, I think, on 50 kilos, yeah, which is, it's actually more than Devonish. So that's interesting how that's worked out.
And here he is coming through Westfield. No, sorry, Sheen Curve. Sheen Curve. And through Stirling's down to Clearways to come to Clark Curve and greet the checkered flag.
It will be the checkered flag.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, no risks. Great race. Great win by Lime Mitch. Don't spin it now or look like an idiot, but well done, Lime Mitch. Great win. There we go, sweeping across the line. Well done, mate. And of course, second place and OZTAC Championship winner, Brenton Hobson. Well done,
That gap
Hobbo.
at the end there was a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Only 4/10 in the end. Great win for Lime Mitch, and congratulations to Hobbo on second place and the OZTCAC Championship. Will Devonish comes through in fourth. It looks like Steve Bolger's going to take home fifth, ahead of Mike Coulston.
Mm-hmm. And Cam Rutledge is going to be coming home across the line now, but he's a lap down in eighth. Cracker is in seventh. He's got a long way to go. He's still coming through Dingledale now.
Just extending the party.
Yeah, why not? And there's Cam Rutledge across the line now in eighth, and Glenn Milesy coming through Clark Curve now to bring her home in ninth place. Wow. After that, I think we have to say congratulations, Hobbo.
Yes. Extremely good job over the course of the season to take home the TCAC Championship. And he's actually in the booth with us. Yes, Hobbo, congratulations.
Hey, thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, so in case you didn't catch that, you're actually now confirmed the championship winner. You have an unassailable lead heading into the last round, or the last race rather. So yeah, Australian Oz TCAC champion.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm wrapped with that. It was pretty hard work towards the end of the championship there, and having missed the first round, it was always an uphill battle to begin with. But shout out to Will. He stuck around all season and made it challenging for me. And big thanks to my teammate Scott Nolan, who jumped in throughout the season. He missed the first half, but I mean his help has been very, very useful throughout the championship to help me bank some more points than I otherwise might have gotten. So no, that was really good. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it was a very good race from you. It didn't seem to make any major mistakes. I just wanted to ask, the pit entry with Termo, did you mean to give him a bit of a bump there, or did it just kind of happen?
Oh no, I definitely didn't mean to hit him. I was sort of taken by surprise actually that I managed to come from so far back and catch him. I suspect he may have got damage because I did, and that might have made his pit stop longer. I feel really bad about that because we jumped him by about 5 or 6 seconds, or 5 seconds in
Yeah.
the end. So I wonder if that's what happened, where he picked up some body damage, where I managed to turn it off before I got to the stop. So I feel really bad if that's what happened because he deserved to be in front, really. But yeah, it just caught me out by surprise. I mean, I was just committed coming in and didn't expect that I'd catch him because he was a little bit up the road. But yeah, he was just a little slower in than I was expecting him to be.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Well, I mean, I've done that in other series, so that's all good. So you've taken race wins at Barber, Adelaide, and Jacarepagua, which we still don't know how to pronounce properly. We're trying.
No, neither do I. Don't worry.
So you're signed up for the OZTCAC Retro round coming up, well, the Retro series coming up. Do you reckon you'll have a good shot at that championship as well? Are you excited for that championship?
I'm definitely excited for it. I mean, the cars are much more my style. I really don't like front wheel drive cars, so these things don't suit my style at all. I'm a rear wheel drive guy every day, so I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't even driven the cars yet, to be honest, but I know that they're
Ooh.
going to be good fun. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we're a chance for sure. I mean, it will hopefully play to my strengths more so with that style of racing. But I mean, I've had a good run in AMS Oz and now Oz TCAC. I mean, I've run, I don't know how many championships in here now. I think I may have won all the ones that I've competed in, but
Oh, well.
I can't remember how many we've done now. But I think we won the V8s and the Porsches when we raced those. So rear wheel drive stuff is definitely more up my alley. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good fun.
Awesome. So we got one race left in the Oz TCAC Championship. Go out there and enjoy the victory race. Yeah.
Enjoy driving Fatso around one more time.
I cannot wait to just park it and never have to drive it again. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Holbo, and congratulations.
Cheers.
Oh, good on him. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, last race coming up, 35 minutes. Is this going to be just a case of school's out, let's break some cars?
Oh, I hope so. Hopefully we'll see you guys a little bit closer than last race. It's been a really good championship. I've thoroughly enjoyed every moment of commentating on it, actually.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
I know that you've learned a lot.
I've learned how to actually commentate. So well, I'll tell you what, we've got a little bit of time. I think we should take a quick break, and we're back momentarily. And we are back. We're about 8 minutes away from the start of the final race of the season. Sad face.
Oh.
But while we're here, we were talking about why we love Brands Hatch before. One of the reasons that I love it is the fact that it actually hasn't changed all that much in the history of the track.
Yeah, it's been really cool like that.
I mean, you look at the 1950s layout, and it's essentially the Indy track without the droids.
Yep.
And then they threw the GP loop in the 60s.
And what a cool loop it is, honestly. I think that's one of the things that makes it a lot of fun to watch cars go around.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's got that old school feel, you know, the track is undulating through the hills. It's got grass right next to it and gravel right next to it. It doesn't feel like a modern track, so that kind of makes it, it's got that really old school sort of feel.
Yeah. And I'm just looking through the Wikipedia article to see some of the cars that raced here. Yeah, obviously you got the old F1 cars, which would have been terrifying around here. No aero.
Can you imagine a 1960s Brabham in the wet around here?
No thanks. A silk cut Jaguar XJR 9.
Oh, amazing stuff. They used to race a World Sports Car Championship. I think it was a 480-kilometer race here.
This was
for Group C and C2 cars.
This was in 98, which is that era.
Yep.
Was the Brands Hatch 1000.
Oh, well, there you go.
The Martin Brundle actually won that race.
Huh.
McLaren F1.
Yep.
You know. And then we've obviously got BTTC, WDTM, World Touring Cars, all sorts. Even trucks.
Trucks here would be mad. It's kind of awesome to think that you can set a lap time around a track that is still being raced at and compare it to people in F1 cars from the 60s or people driving prototype sports cars from the 1980s.
It is crazy. Like, the fastest ever F1 time around here is a 1:09.
Oh, boy.
Which is why they don't come around here now.
Yeah, you don't say. Can you imagine F1 cars around this place? You'd be a foot flat to the floor all the way from Surtees to Sterling's. It would be nuts.
It would be nuts. Even GT3 cars come around here, can do a 123 around here.
That's scary.
Yep. And that's by our favourite driver, Mr. Vanpool.
Wow. Great.
Even the Indy car, an old car they used in the Euro Boss season, which used to be a Benetton Renault, 38 seconds around the Indy circuit.
Oh my god. 38 seconds?
Yeah.
Wow. You'd have like 5 cars on track and they'd be bumping into each other again, a lap down.
Yeah. That's, scary.
Just a little bit, eh?
Just looking at the cards, so I've got a few cards on track getting their last practice laps in. Should be going in the next 5 minutes or so.
Yep.
So your second race, hopefully going to see a bit more
rough and tumble.
A bit more rough and tumble, which we've come to expect from this series.
I've got a question for you then.
Oh god.
What has been your favourite memory of this series?
Oh. Can I just say the last race we did? The first round of the last race we did?
At Guyana?
At Guyana. That was mad.
That was a pretty fun time.
That was just 25 minutes of us two just screaming like we do on a podcast.
Yeah. That was really cool. Props to Coulston and Termo and Walshy and Devonish and Rutledge and everyone who was passing each other like maniacs that entire race. That was so cool.
Yep. Okay, back at you then, sir.
Pardon me. Sorry.
Jesus. I'm from that well.
I just get so emotional.
So true.
I've got to say, coming into this with absolutely no commentary experience and having never played this game before, to be allowed to be given this series to work on and to have the first race going 6 wide down into Lagos, that was a moment where I was like, oh boy, this is something else.
It's like, that was a case of, oh boy, we're actually doing this?
Yeah, what have I gotten myself into? That was going through my head, honestly.
As we just see Steve Bolger go backwards into the wall at that corner.
That corner.
Yeah.
I think you mean, is that Sheen? That corner?
The one after Sheen.
Sterling.
Yeah, that's the one.
The other British one.
Which one? But yeah, this has been a real eye opener for us. I've learned a lot just from doing these 6 races. I know you have too.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, I feel like the more and more we do of this, the more and more fun we're having, the more and more we're learning as which is really, really cool.
And the more and more my internet will get better, and we hopefully don't have stuff drop out.
Oh, fingers crossed, right?
Yeah.
One day.
So I should say thank you very quickly to the organisers of this. That would be Rhodey and Brock Harvey and everyone involved in the team who organises this for giving us 2 Nuffies a shot, if nothing else.
Yep. And then, of course, the Brock Harvey, Devonish, and Coulston, and all the other guys who have run servers and practice and have put time into creating the cars and creating the physics engine. And the performance adjustment system, because that has been something that's given us really, really good racing throughout the entirety of the championship.
And of course, to all of you watching at home.
Yes, we love all of you, especially the other racers who watch themselves back on stream and watch all the dumb stuff that we catch them doing.
And all the dumb stuff that we say, thinking, "Oh God."
I'm glad a joke that I made in the race chat channel wasn't caught on stream. We'll talk about that another time. Maybe not on stream.
Oh, okay then.
That was not for human ears.
I can listen. That's fine. So it looks like this is this final race. So it's going to be a random grid, isn't it? As usual.
Yes, we are going to jump straight into a random grid scenario, like we have done with the other races.
Oh, look, it's on pole.
Oh, look at that.
Is this Will Devonish? Will Devonish was hoping it could be double points.
Oh yeah, fingers crossed, right?
If
the original plan was like a 90-minute race with double points, that would have been a mad time. So it looks like we've got Devonish, Hobson, Lime, Mitch. Oh no, sorry,
that's Rutledge.
Rutledge, Lime, Mitch, Hobson, Steve Bolger, Cracker, Mike Coulston, Termo, and Glenn Miles. So watch for Termo coming through the pack.
That's going to be fun to watch. As we just wait now to start the formation lap. And get actually, can I add one other favourite memory from this series before we go racing? You constantly trying to talk around Cracker's race team name. Oh yeah, well this is a family show.
Is it? We're hosting it. How can it be a family show?
I'm keeping it family show because we normally edit our crappy jokes out of the podcast. We don't do it here.
This is true.
Or put them on the inslate.
Sure.
Anyway, going through the grid. So as we said, we've got Will Devonish on front row, the Willip Racing Mini. Last time we said that beautiful livery. Cam Rutledge.
Oh, how did I know you were going to say that? You were saying that already in my head.
Oh God, I'm in your head. It's scary. Cam Rutledge, the CRE racing car in second. Lime Mitch in third place. Goodbye, Pink Panther. Been lovely knowing you. Fourth place championship winner Brenton Hobson, the Synergy Sim Racing 88 machine. And fifth place Steve Bolger in the Riser Studios Mini. Sixth place in Cracker in the Cracker Fat Racing.
Yes.
Seventh place Mike Coulson in the MHRT MC Racing Greens Tough Mini. Termonator in the Irwin Racing Machine. And ninth place, of course, Glenn Miles, Playboy Racing Miles. Last race, boys. Let's have at it.
So, 35-minute race, 1 compulsory pit stop, and everything to play for in the for the race win. Who cares about the championship anymore? It's all about that race win.
And that's the way we like it.
I am just going to check if there's any other permutations that can happen with regards to some of the lower places, just in case there could still be some things to play for. It looks like the battle between Turbo and Lime Mitch for third overall is still very tight. They're 4 points different, so we'll keep that in mind as we go through the race. But on the whole, it should be, yeah, for the most part, the championship has all finished up.
Oh, nope, that's wrong. I'm trying to find it. There we go. There's a decent camera for the start.
Is that stable one further up the field?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
looking down from Paddock Hill Bend. So we're going to get a nice long shot of the cars as they come across the start. The final race, which begins any second now. And we're away with the final race. Great start by everybody. Turmo, fantastic start from the back there. Lime Mitch having a look down the inside into turn 1. And will get the job done and is up into second place. Further
cracking start from Cam Rutledge. Awful start from Devonish from the front of the grid. He's now down in third, right ahead of Brenton Hobson. They go 3 wide, 4 wide.
Here we go. Here's the race we're wanting, boys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Coming through now, settling down a little bit. Bulger just getting behind Cracker, sitting for 5th and 6th. Out front, though, Lime Mitch is under pressure from Devonish coming through into the GP circuit. Through Surtees. There we go, spit it out, boy. And as we begin now the high-speed section. What?
So Mitch and Rutledge, Devonish and Hobson. Hobson trying to go around the outside through Hawthorns. He's going to try... No, Devonish doesn't give him the opportunity to try and cut back. He's still going to take the inside line, but taking the inside line through Westfield is going to compromise his exit as they go through Dingle Dell. And it's literally a paper between the two of them as they come through Sheen. It looks like Rutledge went a little wide.
Oh, at the front. At the front, we have... Oh, yes, Rutledge has run right through Sterling, and Lime Mitch has gone through to the lead. Devonish second, and Hobson into third. And
Rutledge is dropping like a stone through the field. He's now down into 5th as he goes through Clark Curve. So that one mistake there has actually held up Steve Bolger as well. So there's now... 3 of them, and Steve Bolger's lost the position to Mike Coulston because of that. So Rutledge has dropped from 1st to 5th.
And Coulston's down the inside. Oh, what a move!
Oh, Rutledge is gone. Rutledge has gone off. It's snapped on him through Paddock Hill Bend, and that's both races where Rutledge has had a big incident early on in the race. Oh, no.
Oh, no. All right, I'm going to go back to look at that because there was a whole bunch of action happening in the field. Turmo's come out of it in 6th place somehow. So let's have a look and see if we can figure out what happened.
So it looks like Coulston got the dive in on Rutledge, who got... he got a little bit of help, but he was already sliding off. So he checked up in the middle of the corner, and then as he caught it and went the other way, he got nailed by Steve Bolger. So nothing really Bolger could do as back at the front, Will Devonish took the lead.
Hey, while we're in replay, Devonish to the front. This is the race we wanted, boys. Lime Mitch in second, Hobson in third. I tell you what, Lime Mitch is going to have a look here onto the inside of Sheen Curve as Brave. He wisely backs out of that.
Yeah, so the top 4 now, Devonish, Lime Mitch, Hobson and Cracker. And they're all separated, not by much. And then it's Coulston and Turmo, Bolger and Miles. They're all very packed together. Oh, that's crazy.
I wonder if I can... I'm probably too far back to catch the replay. Oh,
yeah.
Devonish got a bit squirrely through onto the final corner. Leaves the door slightly ajar for Lime Mitch, who's going to try the long way around Paddock Hill Bend. That would be brave.
Let's see how he does. Oh,
how did you get that done?
How did they both save that? Oh, that's crazy. Devonish is now losing the position to Hobson. And a shape on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend. And Lime Mitch back to the top of the tree.
And Devonish thinking about a move into Surtees, but as we've talked about many times, you've got to be committed to get it done there, and he wasn't quite far enough up.
Oh boy, okay, so now it's Lime Mitch. Hobson had got a little bit of understeer through the middle of Surtees, so look for Devonish to get a bit of a run on him, as it looks like they're going 4-5 wide as it looks through Paddock Hill, through Pilgrim's Drop, up through Hawthorns. And it looks like Coulston and Turmo and Bolger have all tacked onto the back of this group. So we've got the top 7 separated by 3 seconds at the moment.
I'm just going to take a look at Coulston because I reckon this battle's going to erupt with Turmo any minute now because Turmo's looking incredibly racy behind him.
Yeah, that's a bit of a reissue of the battle that they had at Goiânia in Race 1, which was a mad battle. Good to see them battling in the middle of the field again.
Yeah, meanwhile, it looks like Devonish is going to try and size up Hobson coming through onto the front straight. So keep an eye on that as well.
Oh no, Devonish got a big bit of oversteer in the middle
did.
of the corner there, which really prevented him from getting a good run. But that next group of 4 is looking scary as they come across the front straight into Paddocks Hill Bend yet again.
As we go to a helicopter shot wide, looking at Paddock Hill Bend, all the cars streaming through. Really good line by Steve Bolger at the back there as well. And Green Stuff Machine thinks about a move on the inside of Druids and can't quite get it done on Cracker there. Termo's... Yeah, so getting closer.
Yeah, so Coulston, he might get a bit of a run here. Cracker has gone a little wide, and he's got the inside line into Surtees. Can he get the car in on the brakes? Yes, he does, but he doesn't quite get it completed. So now, because he's out of the groove, he's going to lose positions to the rest of the field. Termo's already gone up the inside of him, and Bolger's on his inside as well. So that's the price you pay for getting out of the groove here as they go sideways. Oh, Bolger makes the right decision there and backs out of it. And further up, Devonish has got the move on Hobson through Westfield, and
As
actually
Hobson's
puts
off. Hobson's
off the road.
As a helicopter shot shows me trees. Thank you.
Brilliant.
There we go. Yeah, so Devonish has got that move done in the end.
Yeah, it was side-by-side action, but I think Devonish had the corner there, so no harm, no foul. Hobson's still in the mix, so I would say play on. Yeah, that'd be my call.
Let's see if I can put it up, and I've pushed the wrong button. Here we
Oh,
go.
Hobson's almost gone off again through Clark Curve there, so now he's dropped well off the back of Devonish.
Yeah, so I just had a look at the replay, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Nothing wrong. Fair bump, play on.
Yeah, so now Hobson has got Cracker and Termo right on his tail, and then Coulston and Bolger are just behind as they all file through Druids to start, well, for the 5th time this race.
Well,
It's hard to keep track.
Those laps have just gone so quickly. Hobson, Cracker, and Termo, and Coulston, and Bolger, who's thinking about lunging up Coulston, but no. They're separated by not much at all. If it sounds like this for the rest of the race...
This could be wild. This could be scary wild as they all file into Pilgrim's Drop, heading into Hawthorns. They are literally nose to tail as they go through Hawthorns. Hobson, Cracker, Termo, Coulston, and Bolger, who goes just a littlest bit wide there, but does get a pretty good run on the exit. They all sweep through Westfield, through Dingledale, and into Sheen Corner. It looks like Hobson's actually got a little bit of a gap now as Cracker and Termo hold each other up a little bit. So that gap between Cracker through to Bolger is only, what, less than a second. It's 7/10 for that group of 4 cars.
Yeah, that's significant. I think we just saw the Green Stuff Mini trying to sneak down the outside of Clearways, which is not a lot of track there.
A little wild.
And
it's actually covering as Termo goes to the inside, diving into Paddock Hill Bend.
Can't get that done.
Quite.
A lot of tyre smoke there. That's asking a lot of your car to get it done like that.
Yeah, but he's got it sized up, and he's going to go for more of a dive through Druids. Not quite, but he's actually narrowed off the entry of that corner, so he's going to be struggling on the exit here. Has to cover against Mike Coulston as they go through Graham Hill Bend, and he's gone wide as well, so he's looking a bit all over the place at the moment, is Termo.
So, yeah, I think he's trying too hard to get in front, and he's going to leave himself incredibly vulnerable to Coulston if he keeps this up. And at the back there, Bolger just waiting in the wings. As Bolger's having a bit of a crack here, I think. Yes, he is.
Big crack, actually. And he's got the line, he's got the position. Is he going to be able to be brave on the brakes?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Great move.
And Termo's got it going on against Cracker as well as they...
Too wide through there. Oh, yes, he's got to get it done.
He's still there as they go through Sheen. Is he going to be able to hold that position? Use a lot of curb. Oh.
Well, you have to lose a lot of curb to run too wide there, and I think at the end of it, he did cost himself the chance of getting that position done.
Honestly, big ups to Cracker there. He stayed on the outside of that corner and that entire section remarkably well, and they both gave each other a lot of room, so well done to both of them to get through there unscathed.
Absolutely fantastic racing. They have split this battle up a little bit though. As turmoed into the paddock hill bend, too wide. No, good. Oh, on exit though, Cracker gets into the dirt and he's going to get the move done coming out of paddock hill bend. And well clear, so no chance of a revenge attack into Druids.
Yeah, it looks like Turmo spooked Cracker just enough to make a mistake there with showing the nose. Just a quick update on the rest of the field. It looks like we've lost both Rutledge and Glenn Miles, which is a real shame for both of them in the last race of the TCAC Championship.
I wonder if they've come together.
Remember Rutledge had that accident at Paddock Hill Bend, so it might just be damage from that. And then I don't know with Glenn Miles, it could have been anything.
I tried to add a quick look at the replay. It was more than 30 seconds ago while we're absorbed in this massive battle.
So at the moment, if the positions stay as they are, it will be Lime Mick who takes third place in the championship. He will take a 4-point win in that battle over Turmo. So for Turmo to get into third, it's
sorry to interrupt. Cracker, very wide.
Woo.
Making like his name and taking that corner very fat.
Nice. So if Turmo wants to grab third in the championship, he does have to get up to second if Lime Mitch wins the race. And based on the gap that Lime Mitch has already got, that could possibly, well, it does look like a very real possibility that Lime Mitch is going to win.
Which is a well-deserved result for the dominant weekend he's had so far. I say weekend, it's a Wednesday night.
It is a win. Well, it's racing. It's always the weekend if you're racing.
We see Mike Holston very late on the brakes here, almost into the back of Cracker, and he's going to have a little look. No, he thinks better of it coming through to Surtees.
But that does leave him a little exposed to Steve Bolger behind. Bolger's got a better run out of Graham Hill Bend, and I can't quite get it done at Surtees. That's the thing. A lot of these corners, they're not consistent in the way that they're shaped. They either close in or open out, so that means you can do very well with defending and attacking on both of them. But Bolger, he was in the right position there, but did bail out of it as they come up through Hawthorns and across the back end of the circuit. And just like that, Colston's right on the back of Cracker.
It is again. Sorry, I had a bit of dead air there. I was distracted by something on my phone.
Well.
No. How dare people get on relationships? So here we go, looking through. It looks like things are just calming down ever so slightly. I expect to see. You ever getting too early for just gamble on a pit stop?
Well, Hobson's taking your advice and is in the pits right now. He's down to the tail of the field now. So,
but this will be clear when he comes out.
That is true. That is very true.
And we'll see what Fatty can do. I'm going to keep calling it that because he knows I'm talking about the car. I am talking about the car. Whoops.
Beautiful.
But at the front, Lime Mitch has taken a good almost 5-second lead now out of Devonish. Turmo's a couple of seconds further back, but not completely out of it by any means. And then you've got that Cracker, Colston, Bolger.
Bonanza.
Yes. 3, 4 through 6. And now Hobson's out of the pits in 7th place, just coming through Druids now. Looks like a very quick stop from Hobson as well. As we see, Colston has actually lost a place to Bolger there. Yes.
Yeah, so he just stepped it off at the top of the hill at Hawthorns, and that was enough for him to lose that position.
And the way he's been racing, though, I don't expect him to be hanging back there for long, although Bolger's lining up Cracker. I wonder how much Bolger's being held up here.
I think it's more than he probably would like.
Yeah,
to be fair, I think whenever you're behind someone, you'd like to be ahead of them.
Yeah, he's looking very racy all of a sudden. As he thinks along the inside of Brabham, and if he can hang it there for the... No. Nah, that's too far back for Paddock Hill Bend.
I think if he was ahead of both of them, he would leave them both behind, but it's the act of passing them which is causing the problem, as Cracker takes a very defensive line into Druids and is Oh, that was an opportunity for Bolger there to do the switchback, but he hasn't quite got it done, and because of that, he's lost out on that opportunity to make the pass. But Cracker's just won right again. Bolger's got the inside line as they head through into Surtees. He's going to get it done now. They both trail the break as late as they dare in, and Bolger gets the move done. Cracker has to go very wide and doesn't quite get the power down as quickly. Now, this is going to be very interesting because Cracker's got a better exit, but he's not going to be able to force it into Hawthorn. So Bolger gets it done, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he clears off this battle between Cracker and Colston and leaves them both behind.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Colston's actually going to get past Cracker here as he runs very squirrely coming out of Westfield and through Dingledale, and yet that move's been done as well.
Straight away. So in a blink of an eye, Cracker's gone from 4th down to 6th place. And yeah, I
wonder if Cracker's got an issue.
He could do. We did see him run fairly wide through Sheen a few times, so he might be running very tight on the tyres. It's already been 15 minutes on that one set of tyres, so it could be that he's struggling for grip.
Staying out though. No pit call is that lap by the looks of it.
Interesting. So yeah, now with that battle broken up, they've all separated themselves out into about 2.5 clear space each.
Yeah. So we'll go up to Will Devonish, who's currently less than a second ahead of Turmo. That could heat up. I wonder if Turmo might consider the undercut now that we're almost at halfway.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. And I think...
not with that driving, it won't be.
Very wide at 30.
Undercut, not cut the course.
Yeah, if I was in Turmo's position, I'd definitely be thinking about doing the undercut. Simply because the more time he spends behind Will Devonish's bumper, the more time he's going to be losing to Brock Harvey. And not Brock Harvey, sorry, Brenton Hobson.
Yeah.
The other BH. So if he's looking to keep ahead of Lime Mitch for 3rd in this championship, he probably wants to look at overtaking both Devonish and Hobson before the end of the race.
Speaking of Hobson, that gap, it was about 45 seconds off Lime Mitch. He hasn't really improved all that much on that, as we see Turmo coming to the pits now.
Exactly what I said.
Hey, it's almost like we know this race car business.
No, impossible. Don't say that.
We'll see if anyone else decides to pit. Bolger has it. Nope, he's the only pit caller this time by. So I guess we'll see where he comes out now and who responds. As we see Colston only just half a second ahead of Cracker. So Cracker, who's... I've got no doubt is going to be a little angry with himself after those last couple of laps and shipping those two positions really quite easily in the end.
Yeah, but that's racing sometimes. Like, I made mention of it a few times tonight. Once you get out of the groove at a track that's so focused on keeping momentum and keeping the flow going, like Brands Hatch or like Interlagos, that middle sector, once you get out of that groove, you can just lose mountains of time before you even notice it. So he's actually doing quite a good job of staying on the tail of Mike Colston. The gap's only about 0.3 of a second as they swing their ways through Hawthorns at the top of the circuit. So it's not all that bad. You just got to settle back into that groove.
Tell you what, Hobson seems to have lost a bit of time there. I wonder if he's had a wee incident. Just looking at the timing there.
Yeah, he's actually... Yeah, he's spun it around. I only just caught the end of it because he should have come out ahead of Turmo. And it looks like through Paddock Hill Bend, he got a wheel or two. He got very wide through the middle of the and it snapped on him. And he was very lucky to avoid the wall, actually. But yeah, he has dropped mountains of time. Good catch.
As Scott.
You were right the first time, Steve Bolger.
I've called him so many different S words this year.
We're so bad. We're sorry, Steve.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't called him is a word I can't say.
Don't say it. I knew where your head was going. No, don't say it.
I was going to say Superman.
Of course.
Yeah.
It looks like we've... Yep, okay. Yep, go ahead.
I was going to say, he pitted. Lime Mitch is still chugging away out front. You were going to say something?
I was going to say, it looked like we lost Mike Coulston, but it seemed to be just a little bit of a lag issue. But he's still on track ahead of Cracker. And that gap's now out to about 1.5 seconds as they come through Surtees onto the back straight. It looks like he's gone again.
Coulston, no, he's there.
No.
He's just lagging.
No, he is lagging quite a bit now.
He would have been on online race without a Blinkmobile.
No, you're exactly right. I think he is actually stuck on just before Pilgrim's drop.
All right, that's a shame. As we have the leader coming into the pits now as well.
Yeah, so I think Coulston's actually lagged out.
Yep, and Devonish
is a real shame.
That is a shame. He was in a really good battle there, and Devonish has followed him into the pits as well. So top 2 are pitting. Cracker, I imagine, will come in this lap as well. And yes, he does.
Yes, he is.
So that should almost cleanse the field.
I think you are correct.
Yes, so we'll see where everyone comes out in relation to Turmo, who's the first car yet to pit.
He actually got Bolger not that far behind him, which is surprising. I would have expected Bolger further back based on... Now, Bolger has pitted, hasn't he?
He has. He pitted last time by.
Yeah, okay. So I would have expected Turmo to be a bit further ahead of Bolger based on where they were before the stop. So that is a little surprising.
So Mitch has come out first.
And then there is Devonish, and then Turmo is just coming through Paddocks Hill Bend now. So it's about a 3-second gap between the two, between Turmo and Will Devonish.
And Hobson's in 6th place. Yet Coulston has officially DNF now.
Yeah, that's a real shame. Really, really sad to see the Saudi Camel not make it to the end of the last race of the season after providing such quality action throughout the series.
Saudi internet.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sometimes you just have those issues connecting from a long way away to an Australian server. So that leaves us with 6 cars and 13 minutes 44 seconds left to fill. With the battles, looks like Turmo's Mr. Bolger might be the battle at the moment. Although there is, when I say might be the battle, there's still 2 seconds between the two of them.
It's actually between Devonish, Turmo, and Bolger is only about 5 seconds between the 3 of them. So they're looking to be a bit produce a bit of action, I'd hope. Just a quick championship update. It would be a 1-point gap for 3rd between Turmo and Lime Mitch if they finished as they are right now. So very tight. Very tight.
So that battle, potentially for 2nd, could be a 3rd place championship battle.
Yes, 100%.
Ooh, baby. Well, and that put a spice on this.
That would definitely fill out the storyline at the end of the TCAC championship as Devonish gets hit very sideways through turn 1.
I was going to say that's spicy meatball, but you know I won't. I won't say that.
You were going to say it, and then you did.
And I wasn't going to. So
no,
you know.
But then you did.
Shush you.
So we're 12.5 minutes left in this TCAC championship for this year. Well, for this season, I guess.
For this time period. I guess seasons.
Yep, that one.
It's a shame to have such a low grid car count towards the end of it because it doesn't do justice to what's been an almighty series.
Yeah, we have seen some absolutely crazy battling throughout, from Interlagos to Adelaide to Brands Hatch to everywhere else we've been. It's been an absolute madhouse in some of the races.
Yep, to all the Brazilian unpronounceables.
Yep, especially all of those.
Yes.
And all the ones that we didn't do, that no one will ever see.
But we hear the races were quite intense. And I promise not to, if I'm invited back, be so slack that we don't do all those ones live, but I hopefully won't let work get in the way.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, all fingers and toes crossed, all 20 of them.
Wait. Anyway, just very quickly, the gap between Devonish and Turmo has dropped dramatically. It is now only 0.6 as they cross the line. Yeah,
while we're talking junk, I had Devonish on screen, and he did get a couple of, speaking of squirrely moments, there was another one through Paddock Hill Bend.
I wonder if Devonish didn't take tyres, because now it's only 0.3. Devonish was 2 seconds slower that lap compared to Turmo. Turmo's smelling blood here, and he could take this position and with it 3rd place in the championship.
That's why he's smelling blood, alright? And Lime Mitch is out front going, please do the right thing by me, Will.
Yeah, the line Mitch is like, please, Will, please don't screw this up.
Yeah. Come on, Will. I'll keep you in my will if you do it. That's the best I can do. I'm sorry.
You should be embarrassed and ashamed.
I am. As Turmo, tell you what, he's not embarrassed and ashamed. Turmo's going to have a bit of a sneaky bump draft on the way down through Pilgrim's Drop. And he's not going to have a wee look through Hawthorn, but he might have a look through Sheen and Sterling's.
Sterling, I reckon he's going to be setting up a move through Sterling here as Devonish gets crossed up through through Westfield. He's not even going to wait. He's going to go right now and gets it done into Sheen. Wow, as quick as you like.
Told you.
Yeah, and Mitch is off. Mitch has gone off there.
Oh, I heard that in the background. Yes, he's lost a good couple of seconds. That's been Mitch's race. He's gone off a few times, but he has never gone off in a way that's actually made contact.
There are a few places you can go a little bit off as he got well wide through Sheen and then had to catch it on the way into Sterling. So, bit of a lucky moment there for Lime Mitch, who sets a 32.7 compared to Termo's 31. And Termo...
I was going to say, that high pitch means Turmo and Devonish are at it again, as Devonish thinks about the inside move into Druids, but is not far enough up to get it done that time by, and is actually a little bit compromised on exit there, and he's actually held onto that quite well, but a bit squirrely through whatever corner that was.
That was Graham Hill Bend. And he's not letting Turmo get off easy here, as Turmo should be the faster car at this stage of the race. He did take, I think he took he did take an earlier pit stop.
He did.
But the car weighs a lot less, so he should have better conditioned everything at this stage.
Now we've lost Cracker. We're down to
Oh,
5.
really? Oh, no.
We're down to 5.
Oh, Turmo's gone wide. Turmo's gone wide at the top of Hawthorn's and gets it all out of shape through Westfield as well. So we're going to have the reverse move of what we just had through Sheen, through Dingledale. They make contact and Turmo's in the wall. Devonish is off.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Wow.
That did not deserve to happen.
Oh, we'd have another look at that.
We are going to definitely have another look at that. I'm going to get on board with Devonish for this one. So we'll see what he did here. So he's had a look down the inside of the first part of the back section there in Hawthorn, through Dingledale, running 2 by side, and then just ran a bit wide through Dingledale. And tell you what, Devonish actually got away with that quite nicely, but Turmo,
yeah,
not so much.
Damn,
that's a
yeah. It looked. It's really hard to partition blame there because both of them are going to be at the absolute limit, but I don't think there was enough room given to Turmo by Devonish to stay around the outside, and so yeah, I think that one's on Will. I'm sorry, Will, but I think that one's on you.
I'm a little less harsh. I think that because Will did go very wide,
yeah,
as well.
Yeah, it was a matter of both cars wanting to occupy the same piece of track at the same time. So, real rough.
What it does mean is Steve Bolger's in third and having a look at Devonish for second now.
Yeah,
wouldn't that be a great result?
Yeah, that would be a great boost for Bolger right at the very end of the series. What it also means is that unless Turmo can find 8 seconds to gain both of those positions back, he is going to not be able to challenge Lime Mitch for 3rd place in the championship.
Oh yes, very good point. That's not the way you want championship battles to end.
No, it's definitely true. But yeah, it's real shame.
Just lost Devonish from... Oh, there he is. Just lost him on my screen for momentarily, but he's about a second ahead of Bolger with 6 minutes 47 seconds to go, so about 4 laps.
Devonish just put in his best lap of the race last time around.
Ooh, and did Bolger 1:30.176.
Wow, and so Devonish was all 30.09. So they're right on each other's lap times here, and it's going to be an enthralling finish to see which one of these minis can come out on top for 2nd place.
Well, not Steve Bolger. He keeps driving off the course like that through Hawthorn.
No, that's just getting a bit of extra assistance from the banking.
It's not Hawthorn, Graham Hill. I'm getting my English GP legends mixed up.
Wow.
I mean, there are a lot of them.
There are a lot of British GP legends.
Yes.
And some Australians as well. Why is the main straight called Brabham Straight, named after an Australian driver?
Pretty sure Jack Brabham won here a few times.
Yeah, that would be right.
And of course, Brabham is, you know, some sort of manufacturer of cars.
Yeah, this is true.
Tell you what's manufacturing as well. This battle, all of a sudden, is now 4/10 of a second.
Great transition there. Really proud of you.
That's what I do. It's what I do worst. So, with 5 minutes to go, this battle is not showing any signs of abating, and it's great to see. And I reckon Bolger's looking pacey enough; he might just get it done.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the same sort of issue that we had earlier between Coulston, Cracker, and Bolger. The issue isn't going to be catching Devonish; it's going to be passing Devonish. It looks to me that Bolger isn't as confident under braking into some of the harder stops as some of the other drivers. So, especially here at Druids, maybe into Sterling's as well, the places where you'd be wanting to make those dives, doesn't look like Bolger's quite got the confidence to get it done compared to some of the other drivers who are a bit more, let's say, maverick about it.
I was going to go with authoritative, but you can go maverick. It's fine.
I'll say maverick.
Yeah. Tell you what, it's not getting any further away, but it's not really getting any closer either.
Yeah, it's gonna just be progressive. So like somewhere like here, where Bolger's got to run on Devon into Pilgrim's Drop and through Hawthorns, it's a very hard position to make a move unless you go for that big, you know, authoritative drive.
But Bolger was really early on the brakes then too. I know. Exactly.
So that gap's already dropped out to about 7/10 through that section. So if he's losing half a second through Hawthorns and through Westfield, then it's going to be a lot harder to get the move done at some place like Sterling's or even Druids, because you're going to have to gain that half a second back every single lap.
Yeah, and gaining half a second through Paddock Hill Bend is not exactly easy.
No, it's not.
So anyway, out front, Lime Mitch absolutely braining it at the moment. 3 seconds. Close enough to a braining in this contest. Best lap at 129.950. So he's been...
Wow, that's actually a pretty quality best lap. I think Termo's still got the best lap of the race, which is a 29.9. So yeah, it actually could be mid.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Termo's in 4th place. And Hobson's going to pick up 8 points for cruising around the back.
Nice. That is a little bit of a shame. Would have liked to have seen more cars out, but hey, what can you do? This is, remember, a sim racing league on a Wednesday night in the middle of the week, where we race computer cars around computer tracks.
Exactly. No one's getting paid to do this, I hope.
They shouldn't be. If they are, then
where's our
capitalism is broken. Yeah.
So back to half a second between the two minis. With under 3 minutes to go, so another 2 laps from this point on. Hard to see the move getting done now. We'll see how he looks through the back, how Bolger looks through the back section. If he's as timid on the brakes as he was last time around, and they actually stuck with him a bit there. So it's not entirely impossible.
He got a great run through Sterling's onto clearways. That gap now less than 3/10. So if he can get a good run out of Paddock Hill Bend, he might be in the position to make a dive. We'll have to wait and see as we tick over to lap 21 completed. And
ooh, did I see Lime Mitch with an issue too? Yes, Lime Mitch has lost a couple of seconds.
Okay, so this could be a 3-way battle for the lead, in fact.
And Bolger, good lines from Bolger there through Druids, but it gets a bit wrong coming out of Graham Hill Bend. So unfortunately, he lost the advantage he made up through Druids, and he's actually lost more than he made up. So just those little mistakes are just going to cost him in the end, I suspect.
Yeah, there is a little bit of give and take with this track. Break a little bit earlier at Surtees to widen the entry line and get a straighter line on the exit.
I've just gone back to I've just gone to the back of the field.
Yeah, I was just about to say that as well. Hobson and Termo, a bit of Lancer on Lancer action about to start down the tail of the field.
Which one's going to lance the other?
That's funny. You did a good job. I think it's more interesting the fact that both these guys, which have been battling at the front of the field for most of the season, are now at the very back of the field. That must be a weird feeling.
But at some point, though, it doesn't matter where you're battling as long as you're battling, especially with
This
sim
is
racing.
true. Yeah.
As Hobson's right on his backside coming through the back half, coming through into Sterling's now, and he's not quite... Oh, he's got a good run out of there, though. Tell you what, through Paddock Hill and through the final corner might be a chance here for Hobson.
I wonder if Termo's taken damage from hitting the wall there, because his lap times have gone well out, almost wide as through Clark Curve, and now Hobson's got the inside line and has the position over the line, and he's going to get that done to Paddock Hill Bend easy peasy.
Yep, yes, very easy. And I think Termo must be carrying something.
Yeah.
It's the only way it makes sense. Up front, coming onto the last lap now, obviously, with Lime Mitch just taking it easy, a couple of seconds ahead. That's the wrong way, Christopher. There we go. Lime Mitch, a couple of seconds ahead of Devonish, a couple of seconds ahead of Bolger. Looks like we're going to have a nice finish here, but Lime Mitch coming across this finish line now. Well, any time now to start the final lap, by the looks of things.
He's over at Westfield, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping we're looking at the same screen, because when you said coming over the finish line, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, I misspoke, as I tend
Good.
to do. Yeah, we're just coming through Sheen Curve now. So yeah,
Impressive weekend, impressive event from Lime Mitch,
Yes.
winning both races.
winning both races and starting towards the front end of it as well. So you can't fault that at all. He's given everything he can to ensure third place in the championship, which he should lock up.
Definitely. Now with Termo down in fifth, it's a bigger gap, and he's gonna come across the line. Is this the last lap of TCAC? No, we've still got one more to go.
Yeah, one more to go. I love this guessing game we always do. You think
It's a good time.
yeah. Ooh, a bit wide there from Devonish as well. Ooh, that's the wrong button again. Keep looking at the Playboy car in the pits. So Devonish.
You'd think after a whole season you'd get the right buttons in place.
Yeah. You think after a whole season you stop being an idiot, but you know.
No.
Steve Bolger in third place. Great result from him in the end as well.
Yeah, I think that is his best result of the series. I am just going to take a quick look at that. Because he's only been around for the last little bit of the series.
Yeah, which is great for a newcomer to mix it up. Yes, he's, okay, 3rd out of 5 doesn't sound great, but still, that's 3rd out of 5.
Exactly.
You can only beat who's here on the day, right? And those people on their day include Brenton Hobson.
Yeah, put that in the sim racing logbook. Beat Brenton Hobson in a race.
Yes. And Termo, obviously, in the Wounded Lancer in 5th place. As we go back with the Lime Mitch here coming through to Sterling's, along clearways, and we'll come to get the checkered flag anytime soon.
And just behind him will be Will Devonish, second in the championship, second in this race as they come through the last corner. So Lime Mitch with his, I think that's his 3rd win of the series, both races at this event and one at Canada. Oh, and one at Ibarra. So 4 wins for Lime Mitch as he comes across the line to take the checkered flag and promptly bins it through Paddock Hill Bend.
As you do.
Will Devonish in 2nd, Scott Bolger in 3rd. And then it will be Brendan Hobson and Termo to round out the field.
Okay, Hobson, let's see if you can give us something to finish on. Flip the car or something. No, he's too good for that.
Too much of a normie for that.
Speaking of normie, this race series has been anything but. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. I've had amazing amounts of fun commentating on this series and watching this series as well. I actually just gone back and watched a bunch of events just for fun because they've been really good to watch. So yeah, again, we've already said it, we'll say it again. Massive props to Brock Harvey and everyone involved in putting together the physics engine for these cars. As Hobson's doing reverse dollies at the top of Druids.
Oh, that's we should probably check those out because he is the championship winner.
He is the championship winner, and I do love a good session of reverse dollies. He's gone in the pits.
It's alright. I've got no, my replay, because I balked my computer, my replay button's not working. Oh well. But yes, again, that was fun, and we have a few of those drivers in the booth.
Do we now? I am just trying to fix everything that's happening. So we got Brendan Hobson and Will Devonish in the booth. We'll say it again. Congratulations, Brendan Hobson, on your championship victory. Woo!
Thanks very much.
We'll go
Massive round of applause. I like it.
We'll go through the trade again. Second place is Will Devonish, and second place in that last race. Congratulations. What were your thoughts about the series on a whole? How have you enjoyed racing in this mini and in these cars?
I've honestly don't really like the mini that much.
Could have fooled us.
I understand it, and I find this series a lot of fun. I actually look forward to it every fortnight, getting on chat and having a laugh with everyone, where I don't get that with any other series. So I really love this series because of that and all the people that rock up every week.
Oh, that's remarkably wholesome. Even if you get your butt beaten by Brendan Hobson every week.
Oh, I beat him tonight.
That's a good point. Speaking of, Brendan, what happened with that spin out of Paddock Hill Bend? What caused that?
Ultimate commitment and terrible skills. I just was pushing on. We'd just done the quickest lap of the race before that. Had pretty good pace and was just pushing as hard as we could to try and either forge an undercut or just stay with the guys when we all cycled through the pit stops. Which, frustratingly, we were right in it. We should have been in that fight at the end and been able to get amongst it. But nonetheless, it is what it is, and we just made a bit of an error. Lucky to stay off the fence, actually.
I did mention that, and lucky that you didn't get cleaned up by Termo as well. We also got in the booth here Lime Mitch taking both wins this evening. You able to talk, Lime Mitch? Yes, you've got a microphone. Fantastic. Great job. And you took home third in the championship as well. So congratulations on that.
Thanks.
So how did you find running in the championship? You were from the very first round in that pink Puma, you were definitely one who stood out, and to take home third behind Devonish and Hobson must be a good feeling, I'd hope.
Yeah, it was good. A bit inconsistent though from the start.
Cool. Both race wins tonight. Do you like Brands Hatch as a circuit, or are you just good at it?
It's a good fun track. It just flows really nicely. Just hard though sometimes, as you saw. I almost spun twice. Yeah,
we caught you almost binning it out of Sheen right in front of Will Devonish in that little battle at the end there. So lucky you caught that one. Finally, guys, what have been your best memories of this series? We'll go with Hobson first. Best memories of the TCAC series?
Definitely the shake and bake bump drafting at I can't remember the name of the track now, but with Scott Nolan. It was just when we started to get loaded up with a heap of weight, and we were just nowhere out of a hairpin corner down that massive long back straight.
Oh yeah,
he just kept on pushing me back to the front, which was pretty
beautiful. What about you, Will? What was your best moment of the series? Or your favorite memories?
I always go back to that first race where we were 5 wide
down
the front straight. It was nothing beats that.
Yeah, that was a moment Michael and I were like, oh God, what have we signed up for here?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is happening. This is a wild time. What about you, Mitch, finally? What are your best memories of this series?
Yeah, the same as Will, going 5 wide at Interlagos and just the racing there.
Fantastic. It honestly has been a pleasure to call the racing with you guys, and I can't wait for next series that is being run in TCAC, the TCAC Retro Series, which is hopefully going to run, I think it's going to be starting in about a month's time, fingers crossed. Anyone know?
About 3
Apparently
weeks,
next week, I think I was told, but who knows?
What?
No, it's been pushed back a little bit, so about 3-4 weeks, but we are having a practice match at Bathurst possibly next week.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Practice match. Fantastic.
Practice
So
match.
we'll hope to see you all there. And again, congratulations on our top 3 in the championship. Brendan Hobson, Will Devonish, and Lime Mitch on their positions in the OZTCAC Championship. Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's been fun, hasn't it, Michael?
Yeah, so finally we come to the very end of TCAC for this season. Started way back in Adelaide. It was at Interlagos back at I think it was April 15th or April 10th that we started, and right up to the end of July, and here we are.
God, it's been that long.
Yeah, it has been that long.
Hasn't felt like it with the racing we've seen. And hopefully we can get the continue all that fun stuff when we do OZTAC Retro, which is promising to be rear-wheel drive, high horsepower carnage, I guess.
I'm just excited to see the Porsche 911 turbo.
Here we go, the bloody Porsches. Good lord.
Yeah, but have you seen the liveries that have been put on it? People are running Martini liveries. It's great. I love them.
Tell me again, Wade, how much you like Porsches?
I love them so much.
And he's muted, so he can't take up talking anymore. So on that note, I think we should say thank you, Michael. I should probably unmute him so he can say goodbye. There we go.
Thank you very much, Chris.
No, thank you. It's been awesome fun doing this with you, man. And let's hope to do it again in a few weeks' time. And to everyone watching, thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If not, well, if you haven't enjoyed,
we can't help you.
If you haven't enjoyed this, I don't think you can enjoy much in life. Until next time, we'll see you around.
Peace out.